Is 2 days too soon for a comeback? Because I know I said in the last one that I was gonna be gone for a bit, but life happens, good or bad. Good evening, everyone. I'm TFA 1024, the TF Addict, and I'm kinda here to just, touch upon a very sensitive topic that a lot of people from my life, from outside of my life, and who just, you know, get to know me for not even give or take a few weeks, they think they know me down pat is basically what I'm getting at. Sorry, I'm making a pinned comment because I always forget to do that before. There we go. So yeah, I'm not going to go too much into detail because what happened in the confines of um another form of social media or something in a sense. But this is a topic that I'm very open on nowadays because shortly after my mother passed away, almost 3 years ago, I started to try to learn more about my mental illnesses as a neurodivergent. I tried to understand my brain a little bit better, whether it wants to work with me or whether it wants to work against me. And as everyone has noticed, whether you're just tuning in now and you just met me, hi, how are you? Get ready for the long haul. um, or if you've been part of my life for more than a year, you will know very well that I struggle heavily with a nice cupola of mental illnesses. And a lot of my life, I was always invalidated or ridiculed or put down for said mental illnesses because of my behaviors. And I will continue to say this every single time. While they do make things difficult, it is not an excuse to be an asshole. And I've had my moments where I was an asshole, but it was never intentional. And I think that should be taken into account. I think that should speak volumes because, as I continue to keep saying, I am not in any way, shape, or form a malicious person. I am far from it. As long as you treat me with respect and kindness, I will treat you with respect and kindness. That's it. That is all there is to it. Do not try to tell me that the way that I am living is my choice. Certain situations in everyone's lives happen at random. Sometimes you have no choice at all. Is there room for improvement? Absolutely. Is it going to be like at the drop of a hat or waving a magic wand and fixing everything? Absolutely fucking not. For nearly an entire decade, I have constantly been faced with my own insecurities, with my own demons, and with people constantly being so goddamn ignorant to my needs, to my the way that I am as a person, to my words, and immediately giving me unsolicited advice or trying to change me. You will not change me. You have no right to change me. Anything that I do upon my own accord, especially when it comes to talking about how I am feeling with another individual, or the fact that I am trying to peacefully resolve a conflict, or that I'm trying to address something that bothers me, whether you think it's big or small, is irrelevant. I never go out of my way to intentionally harm anyone anymore. As a teenager, I absolutely did because I was like that quiet, angsty teen type dude who, I wasn't in the best headspace. High school was terrible. But for the past few years, I've matured. I have grown. Do I still have improvement that I need to do? Yes, absolutely. Every fucking human being does. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to acceptance. It comes to showing support. It comes to understanding and communication. What it doesn't call for is trying to label it as one thing or trying to tell me what my intention was when I know damn well what my true intention was. What it doesn't call for is for being hurtful towards me. And what it absolutely does not call for is for invalidating my mental illnesses. Again, that is not to be said that those are used as an excuse to be an asshole or in general. But I know my brain just as much as you know yours. And I know mine as much as all of you. I may not 100% have it down pat yet because obviously things are still working in tandem and against me. But suffice to say, do not put me down for my own mentality. Do not sit there behind your screen and tell me that I'm choosing to be the way I am. I am choosing to live the life I'm living. Do not tell me how to spend my money. You don't control my life. You control yours. If I have a problem with you, I will come after, sorry, that sounded aggressive. I will go to you and try to resolve it peacefully. I will be more than happy to communicate. However, I am aware of my own triggers as well. And if I say that I'm going to step away, that does not give you the right to send a message afterwards after saying I was going to leave. That's when we drop it, we both calm down, we step away, and then we try again later. What is small to someone may be big to someone else. That does not give you the right to invalidate that at all. I don't care what it was. I don't care what it is. What's big to you is big to you. If something bothers you, speak up. That is how I was raised. That is how my mother raised me. And I am not going to stop that just because, oh, it's too small for someone else. I am not doing that anymore. I am so tired of walking around on eggshells around everyone. And it honestly, I'm convinced at this point that I have been blacklisted in the Transformers community because every single interaction that I've had from 2015 till now has repeated the same thing. People get too close, they start seeing everything about me, and it's also my own fault because per some of my mental illnesses, especially with ADHD, if I recall correctly, I overshare too much. But I do that because I want people to know what they're getting into. I want people to know who I am. I don't do it as a means to, oh, well, poor TFA. He wants pity. He wants sympathy. That is far from the case. I am autistic. I genuinely am autistic. I've been diagnosed since I was 4 years old in Pennsylvania. That diagnosis has not gone away. If anything, it's evolved. I have been clinically diagnosed with severe anxiety, depression, emotional dysregulation, executive dysfunction. This is all stuff that you guys can look up. Maybe some of you have it too. Who knows? I don't. Only you do. It's your mind. No one has the right to tell you what your mind, what is in your mind, what isn't in your mind. And a further point I want to go in this also is that the same reasoning is always said to me is that people say that I use my mental illnesses to enable my bad behavior or to enable where I am in life. That is not the case at all. I am trying to survive and live life just as much as any single one of you. I'm sorry that I'm not part of society and I can work and I can make my own proper income and sustainable income while unfortunately I have to I can't because I have to stay here with my father, who is unfortunately diagnosed with slight dementia, and I'm not leaving him. I do not feel comfortable with going out there and leaving him by himself. Period. It doesn't matter how many times you try to preach that to me. My answer remains the same. If you don't like that, more power to you, but you need to you need to accept and understand my choice. I'm so tired of this. This has happened so much and so many different times and various with various different people, from lack of understanding to just being ignorant and hurtful and trying to be an ableist. And it's like, why is it so hard for people to just grasp the concept that not everyone has a same functioning brain? Why is it so hard for people to understand that numerous different types of mental illnesses can coexist and work with each other or against each other in tandem? Why is it so hard that no matter what I do, whether I'm trying to change and be better or I'm just the way I am, is it so hard to be accepted? I've lost friends over this type of shit, numerous friends, and I hate it every single fucking time. Happened to me just a little while ago. I don't know if we're still friends or not. That's not what the status says, but that's what I go by because that's what my brain associates it with, especially on the internet. But it happens far too often. Now, I'm not saying it happens like every single day or every month, but it does happen every often, and it still breaks my heart every time because why is it so hard to just be accepted? Why is it so hard for people to just accept me for me? I'm not expecting yes men. I'm not expecting people to just bow down and kiss my ass or anything. I'm just asking to be respected and treated fairly and accepted. And shit like this just keeps happening. And I don't understand why. And a large majority of the time, it is normally affiliated with group chats. And that is why I have since backed out of said group chats. Every single one that I'm part of, or I used to be part of, I'm out of it. Because I know either one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to either be too quiet and inactive, or I'm going to end up trying to be myself or try to fit in like a try hard in a way, or, just be my regular old self, overshare shit and try to just meet people, but then I'll be labeled as something different. I hear the phrase clout chasing getting thrown around a lot nowadays, and I don't even think people know what it means anymore. If I say I want to work with you, it's not because I want to get subscribers or anything. It's because I want to be part of this community, but people make that so difficult now. And this is not the first time I felt this way. This is far from it. I've continuously said in numerous live streams from the past and the present, and probably even the future, that I feel like people see the name TFA and they think immediately, oh, it's that guy. They hear things and they immediately think, oh, that's just how he is. He's never changed. I've shown a lot of personal growth. Whether you see it or not, that's your call. But I can promise you damn well I have definitely grown quite a bit. I don't take crap from people as much anymore. I don't like conflict. I never like conflict, but yet it still finds me. Why? Because that's just how it is. Being neurodivergent is never a choice. You are either born with it or you're neurotypical. I am not enabling my mental illnesses and using them as a crutch. I'm telling from fact that it makes shit so incredibly difficult. It is not a matter of me not wanting to better myself or wanting to grow or even be even more mature than it is. It's a matter of I am doing my best every single goddamn fucking day to get up out of bed, to move around, to make sure I eat, and to make sure I do the shit that I am supposed to do. I'm done with the ridicule. I'm done with being shamed. If you don't want to understand me, more power to you. But if you are truly my friend, I would like to believe that you would take the time to think about what you're going to say to me, to hear my words, and to accept me as the human being that I am. If I fuck up, I fuck up. Call me out on it, and I will be more than happy to make amends and or try to make it right somehow. But any intention that I have ever done or I have ever had was always in the right. It was never to be malicious. It was never to be troublesome. It was never to cause any drama. It was never to hurt anyone. But I'm tired of being invalidated anymore because it continues to just keep happening. I'm tired of feeling like an outcast because I felt like that my entire life. How I'm still standing to this day is beyond me. Because there are days where I want to be here and there are days where I just want to leave. And I don't mean just YouTube. I don't mean Instagram. I mean life. I try so hard to be part of things with people that I thought were friends. And in hopes to even make more friends. Because I didn't have any growing up as a kid. You want to know who my only friends are right now? The people on Facebook and Instagram and in real life or outside of social media are the only two friends I knew from high school. And I don't even get to see them because they're too far away. I am grateful to have you guys, to the ones who are watching and who I have contacted with and I have done stuff with, and we're on good terms, obviously. I am grateful for you. But the ones who just still continue to be ignorant and try to change me and try to think that tough love is going to work or that invalidating me is okay, maybe I'm better off. I'm tired of being a people pleaser. I'm tired of being emotionally manipulative too. Manipulated, not manipulative. Sorry. I'm tired of being told that I need to work on this, this, and this. Oh, you need to stop your self loathing. You need to stop with your what else using anxiety as an excuse. It's like, no, I'm sorry that you don't believe my struggles, and I'm sorry that you can't experience. Actually, I'm not sorry you can't experience what I go through because I don't want you to go through this. It's hell on earth. I've made my fair share of mistakes numerous times, and still to this day I make mistakes because I'm human. But all I ever want to do is be part of the community, to just have fun, to make friends. You know how often I see on social media that like online friends meet each other for the first time, or all the people who are in the Transformers community send each other packages and how close everyone is? I want that. I don't do it for exposure. I don't do it just to clout chase. I do it because I want a piece of that. I used to say I want to be a big YouTuber just for the sake of a career, but it's more than that. I didn't have a childhood growing up as a kid. You know where I was? In and out of mental hospitals, stripped away from my family because my own brain would not allow me to function properly. I was on medication from 4 years old all the way to 18. And then back again when I was back in the mental hospital in 2020 after my mom passed away and having a relapse in 2021. And then I quit again because the medicine didn't work. The closest thing I got that's working is therapy. And even then, I don't take advantage of it enough because there are times where I just don't want to do it. You think I want to sit down and just have some poor person listen to all my struggles? Oh, woe is me. I mean, I'm doing that right now, so I guess it's kind of hypocritical, but in a way, I use my social media for my purposes. If it ain't your cup of tea, it ain't your cup of tea. I ain't going to stop you from unfollowing or unsubscribing or anything. But I do what's best for me. And right now, and I even told TF Addictress that I was so tempted to go live because I have so much pent up emotion, so much anger, so much hurt, so much pain right now that I needed to let it out. And this is the best way I was going to be able to do it because I don't even trust all of my support system. And it's not their fault, it's mine because I've been abandoned. I've been taken advantage of so much. I've put myself out there and I've been rejected so much and so often. It's not even funny. I don't need any of this. I'm dealing with my life as I am. My mom's been dead for almost 3 years, and I'm sorry to any of you out there who have lost your parent or guardian for longer or even a roughly amount the same of time, but you should know the pain doesn't end, unfortunately. Not for a while. I'm still going through it. And I know people out there are always going to try to tell me, it's like, well, why don't you step away from online and just try to focus and get out more? Well, unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. And this is my only gateway to communicating with the outside world. Ask TF Addictress. Ask her how often we talk. We talk literally every single fucking day. Anyone else I try to message, I feel like I'm being a bother, or I feel like they heard something about me, or other people are talking about me behind my back and I don't know. And that's going to cause a rift in friendship or some shit. I don't talk in group chats anymore just because I know damn well I'm either going to be too quiet or I'm going to be a downer or I'm going to be too much. And apparently that's what happened. That's why I left every single one that I'm in. I can't do it anymore. I really can't. I'm tired of being hurt so constantly over and over and over again. I don't know how all of you guys do it. I don't know what groups you're in. I don't know what people to really just trust as full anymore. I'm so tired of this. Why is it so damn hard to just be part of something? And if anyone ever tells me or makes me feel as though I am choosing the way to live or I'm choosing the way to be, you can pack your shit and get out the door. Don't you ever fucking say that to me. Don't say that to anyone who has a mental illness. Just because someone doesn't project the same stuff as someone else doesn't mean that they don't have a mental illness, especially when it comes to autism. It is a spectrum based disorder for a valid fucking reason. That is one of the most invalidating, infuriating things I have heard anyone ever say to me or anyone else. It is absolutely appalling. You should be ashamed of yourself. The world would be so much better if people would just try to put differences aside and to just get along. That's all I try to do. I may push people away a lot and say I don't want to talk, but that's just because I'm an introvert. But it's also because I'm afraid to let people to get close anymore because of how often this type of shit has happened to me. I always have to watch what I say very closely and to word it in a certain way that will convey what I'm trying to feel in the right context to the recipient. So that way I don't hurt their feelings or I don't make them feel like I don't care about them. And maybe in reality, maybe I do care a little much, but I never believed in that. I don't believe you can love something or care about something too much. Care and love are hand in hand. There's no quantity or limit to it. All I know is I can't keep going through this anymore. I don't understand why it's just so difficult for this to just be put to rest. Why do I have to be ridiculed for having social security income or why do I have to be told that I need to change a lot about myself so that way I can accommodate other people's perspective or other people's boundaries and shit. You either accept me for me or you don't. And if you don't, well, you're just giving me another reason why I don't want to be part of the world. That's not to say I'm not trying to improve. I have been trying to improve every single day in some way, shape, or form. I've done the research. I have the diagnosis. I know what's wrong with my brain. You guys don't. And I hope to hell none of you guys have to go through this similar type of shit because it is awful. There are people out there who have this type of stuff and they're able to do incredible things. I have been trying to push the envelope and trying to go break the wall and just go further every single day. As a content creator, as a human being, as a member of society, even though I really don't want to be part of society because just, but I'm trying and crying, really. I just can't keep fighting this much anymore. Like, I shared a quote a few months ago on my Facebook or on my Instagram, and I even threw it in on my bio every so often. And what I said was, too tired to fight, too weak to keep going. Or too weak to fight, too tired to keep going. And I stand by that because I am. I'm paranoid. I'm back to that scared little boy that was on YouTube for the first time and having all these people make fake accounts and making videos and people talking shit or hearing shit behind my back and thinking that's immediately who I am or what I do. And they don't even know the full story. The lack of communication obviously doesn't help matters, but no one ever wants to step up. And I don't want to reach out because I feel like they're just going to deject it. And I've been proven that numerous times. And if I'm being quite frank, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last video I ever make. Because clearly, no matter what I say, no matter how many times I try to explain this, it's not going to make a damn difference. And that is the cold, hard reality of it. I don't possess a lot of a consistent energy as some of you out there are able to do. I'm not a talented writer. I'm not a stop motion animator as good as some other people are. I'm not able to do it just because everything drains the shit out of me anymore. The only reason that I'm even still here is because of the Transformers franchise. As sad as that may sound to all of you, and I want to reiterate this as well, that is the only thing that matters to me. That is the only thing that has kept me here. People are different. I don't love one more than the other or one lesser than the other. I love both equally. And it's like I said in a video on Instagram, Transformers are the one thing in my life that has never hurt me, and it still stands true to this day. The fandom, sure as fuck, has hurt me numerous times. Not everyone. You know who you are. But a lot. People have told me I'm an inspiration to them, and I just ask them, fucking how? I'm a wreck. I'm a mistake. I've messed up with big names. I messed up with small names. I messed up with people who even just met me. And yet I'm an inspiration to you, or I'm a role model to you. And I just keep asking, fucking how? And yeah, I don't have the tough enough or thick enough skin for this type of shit, but you know what? I don't want to let that stop me from trying to do something I enjoy, for being part of something like this. I enjoy Transformers as much as the next guy. I might enjoy them a little more. I'm one of those fans that you will never see me complain about stupid shit like Cheetor's coloration on his Studio Series figure, or stuff like that. I mean, there are valid ones like Earthspark Skywarp or Studio Series Crankcase. I love to pick on those ones. And obviously the yellowing issue and paint defects and bad QC in general, but that's expected now, unfortunately. But I will never go out of my way to intentionally harm anyone. I will never go out of my way to make anyone purposely uncomfortable. It's like I said earlier, if you have hurt me or if something has bothered me, I'm going to speak up about it. And the sad, unfortunate thing is that we've all been raised about, not bullying, speak up. I guess as adults, we can't really do that, because even adults get bullied. Not even just by kids, by other adults. I can't tell you how often this year so far, or the last couple of months, I felt like I was back in fucking high school. And there are probably people watching this right now, maybe even laughing at me. Who knows? But I hope to the people that have hurt me are still watching. I hope they're listening. I hope they're absorbing my tone of voice and everything that I've said to them, or I've said. You have no right to ever tell me that my mental illnesses are a choice. You have no right to ever tell me that I am allowing them to control everything that I do, or that I'm using them as a crutch, or that I'm enabling them. They are part of me. My brain is not wired the same as yours. I am neurodivergent, not neurotypical. And I am doing everything I can to just try to make it in life, some way, shape, or form. And I won't be put down for that. I don't know what else there is to say anymore. It's all been said a numerous amount of times. And as I said, I don't think anything's going to change after this. I think ultimately, no matter what, things are always going to remain the same. I will still constantly be invalidated and ridiculed for how I live my life, for how I'm surviving. I will still be put down for all my struggles and for how I am as a person. I will still be looked upon as that attention seeker, or the one who makes up excuses, when in reality, mental illnesses are not an excuse. They're an explanation. I don't want any more stress. I don't want to keep feeling this way. But I guess unfortunately it's reached that point where that's all I ever feel anymore. And that's why I've been so scared to just reach out to people in general. I don't know what more anyone wants from me. But clearly they're asking for or I'm asking for too much if I just can't be accepted for myself. And I hope to God none of you out there are experiencing anything like that from a friend, from a parent, from anyone. And I'm not going to apologize for this stream. What I will apologize for is the lack of Transformers content anymore. Just because I haven't been able to I haven't been able to sit down. I'm still grieving over the loss of my friend from November 16th. I'm still grieving over my mom. And I'm trying to use all that emotional energy to just do anything, whether it's just cleaning around the house, putting up the collection, making a video, trying to be part of things. And I guess the more I try, the more I realize maybe the world doesn't have a spot for me in it. So to that, I'm sorry. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last time you hear from me. I'm ultimately convinced at this point coming online was a mistake. That there is some group of people out there just constantly shit talking me or feeding people past lie garbage. And some of this might be my own fault because again, I didn't have to share everything about me, but as I've said also, I treat my social medias as like my biography, my life story, because I want to be able to leave something behind when I die. I can't think of anything else to say. But I want to thank everyone who's been tuning in or who's been here. I keep wanting to say tuning in like this is content. This ain't content. This is far from it. This is a serious matter, and this is affecting a lot of people, not just myself. And it could even be affecting you, because again, I don't know what your mental health is like. I don't know your biological medical history. I don't know. I don't know. It's not my place. But I want to thank you all for being here, for just listening. Because I see a lot of you. Not a lot in the chat, but obviously I think you all know how serious of a topic it is, and I think that's why that you're just here to listen, which I still appreciate nonetheless. No one is obligated to engage in the chat. I just don't want to be known as one of the toxic Transformers fans or toxic people or anything like that. I mean, I can admit I am toxic at times. I am very toxic at times, but it's not like I intentionally choose to be. It's not like I choose to be combative. If something bothers me, again, I will speak up. If something hurts me, I am going to address it. If I am being attacked, I will defend myself. If I feel like you've done me wrong, I am going to talk to you. And if you choose not to reply, That kind of says something about you now, doesn't it? Not you guys, you in the general sense. And not even anyone in particular, just people in general, because communication in relationships and friendships is obviously a very key component, if not the key. And not everyone takes the time to do it, even if it is the same old stuff every time. If people care, they would show that they do. They would take that time to talk it out instead of immediately deflecting or deflecting or neglecting or putting invalidating and all that type of crap. Not saying anyone in particular has. It has happened in the past. And in a way, in this most recent instance, it has happened, but everyone's struggling with something, and I'm not one to dismiss that. I always tell people, if you need to vent, I will be more than happy to listen if and when I am able, because I'm also going through my own stuff. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't wish you well. It doesn't mean I don't want you to feel better. I do. If you have to message me and I need to read it later or something when I'm able to, then do that. Whatever works for you. If you can get it out, you can get it out. Sometimes the most important thing is to listen and not just give feedback. And also, it's to not give unsolicited advice, especially when it's not your place. At the end of the day, it just comes down to understanding and acceptance. And it's like I said before. If I did something wrong, tell me. Don't put me on blast. Be respectful. Be civil about it. You attract more flies with honey than vinegar. But don't be dismissive. Don't be one to assume that I'm using my mental illnesses as an excuse. Don't be one to put me down and invalidate me. I'm on this rock in space just like you, trying to get by, trying to do what I love. No one has the right to do that to anyone. As long as you are not hurting yourself or others intentionally, no one has the right to tell you how to be, how to live, or how to speak. It's the year 2023. It's time for a change. It's been long overdue for a change. And I also want to clarify this as well, because this is something that I heard recently, and it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. People out there who have been using the phrase neurodivergent or talking so much about mental illnesses, people out there think that it's a fad on Twitter or something. Far from it. You think LGBTQ and people of color are the only ones that are suffering and struggling? People with mental illnesses go through the same shit. We are treated unequally, even when we set boundaries, even when we try to speak up for ourselves. There is no fad. It's not a trend. COVID-19 proved that. Everyone was stuck in their house going stir crazy because they weren't able to leave. I don't ever want to hear that shit again. You are either born with mental illnesses or you develop them later on. They're like cancer. They like to creep up on you and really intensify and really show themselves whenever they want. You have absolutely no fucking right to say anything like that to anyone. And if you have mental illnesses too and you're saying that shit, well, Maybe instead of saying that someone else needs to change, maybe you need to try to change a little bit. Maybe you need to be a little bit more understanding. Either that, or maybe you need to just stay quiet. I don't know how many of you out there deal with mental illnesses, and as I said before, it's not my place to know unless you want to share that. But they are not, nor have they ever been a choice. They are hereditary or they are genetic. If your mom or dad has it, you probably have it too. There is no, it's a choice. There is no using it as a crutch. There is no enabling. It all comes down to acceptance and understanding. You are either neurodivergent or you're neurotypical. There is no in between. I am autistic. I have ADHD. I have bipolar. I have PTSD, OCD, ODD, executive dysfunction, emotional regulation, or rather emotional dysregulation. And I'm still learning more shit out. I'm still learning out more shit that I have. I'm putting the work into finding out what's wrong with me. I know my behavior. I know how I am. It's not like I make this shit up on the fly. I've been following mental health stuff on Instagram and online for a few years now. Because as I said, after my mom passed away, I started to really do some research and try to understand my brain a little bit better. Because people always used to say I'm lazy. No, that's not laziness. That is executive dysfunction. That is not possessing enough energy to do certain things. And it doesn't even need to be chores. It could be simple as eating. It could be simple as just wanting to do a project that you want to do, or playing a video game that you want to. Want to know my video game backlog? You want to know my project backlog? You're already living proof of it here on YouTube. There's my project backlog. Every single project that I said I wanted to work on got canceled, or they got put on the back burner indefinitely. And it's not because I don't want to do it. It's because I'm so damn drained. The very thought of having to do something just tires me immediately. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm here to educate you on this stuff, or at least educate you on me. You all know how I feel about not working up on my promises or keeping up on my promises of content and shit. I hate it. I hate not being able to be completely honest and following through with my stuff. It doesn't mean I'm not trying. I'm still working on my Rise of the Beast breakdown video. It's in progress. I haven't done it for a few weeks, but it's there. Just stop putting me down. Stop invalidating me. Stop making me seem like I'm trying to do all this intentionally. Intention is just as powerful as action. And the whole actions speak louder than words thing, no. Words speak just as loud as action. Anyway, this has been almost an hour live stream, and I've talked your ear off and almost borderline cried here enough. So, just want to thank everyone for being here and listening. I'm I'm just over all of this at this point. We try as we hard as we can, and for some reason, it's just not enough for everyone. As bad enough as it is, not good enough for me either, or it's not enough for me as well. And if anyone is watching this and has the intent to talk about this behind my back or whatever. You do you. It's gonna happen. It normally always does. I've tried so hard to avoid these type of streams anymore, but I'm done being quiet. Behind private doors or out in the open. I'm so tired of this. I'm always going to talk about what bothers me because I am allowed to do that. That's what you should do. That is what I was taught to do. Doesn't matter if it's online or in person. It's best to let it out. I will apologize for the most part for going on this so long, but just I couldn't hold it back. But I hope everyone is truly doing well. I'm still going to probably go on my little break and still deal with the grieving of the loss of my friend, as well as my mom and everything. But like I said, don't be surprised if this is the last time you hear of me. At least on my channel. I'll probably still be part of other stuff. But as far as my own stuff goes, I truly just don't know anymore. It seems like whatever I do ultimately leads up to failure or causes problems of some way in some way, shape, or form. And I just can't keep going on. As I said, I'm sorry that I'm not able to be as functional as most of you out there who are able to hold a job or who are able to drive or shit like that. I envy you, honestly. I wish I could do that. And it's not a matter of not trying hard enough. And it's not a matter of, any other relative phrase, or I can't think at the moment. My brain's just not with it fully. But either way, I'm happy you're able to do it. And I hope you're doing it well. I don't know how the hell you guys do it, but you do it. And hopefully, maybe one day I can too. All I ask is that instead of trying to approach this with annoyance or ignorance, maybe try to put yourself in my shoes. Or better yet, take a moment to try to learn about yourself. Mental illnesses are no joke. Mental health is health. And I don't want to quit doing this, but again, I just don't know how long I can keep it up. We'll just have to wait and see. I hope you're all doing well. I do sincerely apologize if I was a bit aggressive in my tone, but it is not meant to be malicious. I just get pushed to my edge, and this is one of those things that just really, really got to me. It is a trigger, and it's not the meme, the funny haha where it's like, oh, triggered, and then the red filter. No, it's a legitimate trigger. I can't stand being told how to do certain things or how to speak or how to act. It ain't fair to me. It's not like I'm going out there and being an absolute asshole to anyone. And it's not like I'm purposely trying to be a downer to people. I am the way I am. You are the way you are. Let's just find a way to coexist peacefully, and we'll go from there. So, again, thank you everyone for being here. I know a lot of you are still here. Not a lot of people are commenting, and again, that's fine. It's whatever. But I just hope you take my words into account, and I hope you put them to good use in the future. And to anyone out there who has given me advice, please understand that I have never just rightfully rejected it or deflected it. I have definitely tried to implement it in some way, shape, or form through my life. And still to this day, I try. And tomorrow, I will try. And the next day. And the next month. And the next year. I may not be online, but I will still be alive. Whether you know that or not, well, who knows? Honestly. Because I used to be the ghost in a ghost in the Transformers community. I just used to be, I don't want to say a lurker because that sounds creepy, but I used to be a spectator. And I feel like maybe that's always been my place, is to just be there instead of out in the open. I got tired of being a follower. I wanted to be a leader, or at least try to be a leader in some way, shape, or form. I wanted to create a safe space for Transformers fans. And now I do it to make a safe space for people with mental illnesses and for people who are struggling in life and can just look at a video and smile or be excited about something with me, and just for everyone to come together and just have fun. And as often as people have said, that's a fairy tale perspective and it's very childlike. I don't care. You're talking about toys, giant robots, and imagination. Of course it's going to be childish, but it's fun. It's an escape. Take advantage of that. I mean, it's not like I've let it completely consume my entire life. It is my life. It's what I want to do. It's what I want to always talk about. And I still have other interests. This is just the one that speaks out the most. You know, I try to be an Optimus Prime, but I guess I'm more of a Rodimus. Too much to bear and just trying to get by. And I think that's what I want to be portrayed as from now on, because there are better Optimuses out there in the Transformers community than people who call me a Prime. But just don't call me Hot Rod, because I didn't kill Optimus. I'm trying to add some humor to this because it's too bleak. But either way, I'll try and be back when I can. I may not even come back at all. And yes, I'm being vague about that on purpose because I don't know. It depends on what my brain wants to do. Might be a day where the channel is just randomly deleted, the Instagram is deactivated, and you may never hear the phrase TFA or the name TFA 1024 or the TF Addict again. All I know is I'm just tired of being hurt. And it's something that has consistently been happening for the past few years, ever since I joined YouTube. And it's incredibly unfair. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for being here through thick and thin, through the happy and sad, through the good and bad. Thank you for letting me be me. That speaks volumes. It really shows that you go to accept me for who I am. You're not trying to change me. You're not just tolerating me. You are here with me, standing beside me. And I'm really grateful to you guys for that. I don't want this to be the last time, but with how things have been going, I just don't know anymore. I do think I'm still going to take that break though and just try and de-stress for the most part, because that loss of my friend really also messed me up, on top of still grieving over my mom and my biological father who took his life back in May of 2020. And my as stupid as this one may sound, well, it's not stupid, but my cat little man still pops up in my head every now and then. I know I need work. I have therapy tomorrow anyway, so that'll be a good outlet as well. But I digress. Just please be good to one another, be kind to one another, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I'll catch you guys when I see you. This is TFA 1024, the TF Addict, rolling out. Until we meet again, until all is fun.